Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man, at your service. Hey, how are we all doing? After all the rain, the sun is now shining again. For how long, who knows? Probably all the entire infrastructure will fall apart again because of the blazing heat after all the deluge of flooding that we've had. Anyway, this is like a follow-on from the previous video regarding Big Kilt-Papa, my dad, Big Fred Mac, currently hanging on to life, tenaciously, as is his way. Stubborn old mule that he is. He is still currently in Arrow Park Hospital, although they've done all they can. So this afternoon he comes back home to the home he'd been staying in, the Belvedere. He had a comfortable night. I was with him most of yesterday. And by the way, I want to say a great big thank you to a heartfelt thanks to everyone who's offered their sympathies and their prayers. It's been wonderful. Mrs. Kilt-Man was a bit sort of wary about me mentioning anything like this on video, on the tube. But personally, for me, anything, I talk everything through. Everybody has different coping mechanisms, but I found a believer in just talk about it. Talking it through helps you. It helps other people as well, I think. So that's why I did it. And then, in a rarity for Mrs. Kilt-Man, she actually watched the video back and she went, "No, I see what you did. I see why you did it. That's good." And even Big Kilt-Mama knows, and she's quite happy too. So yeah, he's a wily old bugger, my dad. They gave him half an hour to live when he first arrived at the hospital, and if he survived that 24 hours, 2 days later, 3 days later, he's still hanging on. In front of me yesterday, now I was on my own with him for a good portion of the day yesterday. He became aware and he woke up. He smiled. He smiled, and it could have been wind, who knows. And he looked at me with his one good eye, the one eye that works, and smiled and began to speak. It didn't make any sense. But then again, some would say that nothing he's ever said has made any sense. But so I leaned in close and I talked to him, and it was wonderful. I have no idea what we were saying to each other, but we were conversing, and he smiled and he laughed as well. Probably like laughing at me, I would say, because I said to him, "Is there some kind of joke you're not telling us? What's going on? There's something you're hiding, isn't there?" And he just laughed, and he was whispering something, probably saying, "Get your hair cut. Get your hair cut, you bloody hippie. You're a disgrace to the clan." But no, he was, for someone who's at the threshold, he was in remarkably good spirits. And, I thought to myself that even if that was it, what a way to go. He's laughing and he's joking in his own way. And I thought that'd be great, and that's the way I want to remember him. I want to give a big shout out to all the staff at Arrow Park as well, especially John. John's been fantastic because although he's been on a ward where there's other older people, but they had nowhere else to put my dad. Now my dad was there with a view to this was the end, and we could just sit with him, but there was no privacy really. But everyone around was great. Other families were visiting, people who were going to be leaving, people who were going to be cured. Everyone was great, and the staff were wonderful. And yours truly, the look of the kilt. Not only did he get chatted up by a nurse, a nurse chatting meal, yeah. And but I got fed, and I don't care what anyone says about hospital food. It was lovely. I got given a roast pork dinner. This is for all the patients, not the visitors. But because we can stay there 24/7, you know, so they gave me a dinner. And then later on, John come round and I thought, oh, you know, I can't, no, don't, I'm not going to indulge any further, don't worry. This was tea time. And he goes, what about you, big man? Do you want some meatballs and tomato sauce? And I was like, if it's going spare, he goes, I'll make it for you now. And they come round, and like, I thought, oh, maybe a small portion. Oh no, the plate was like that. Mashed potato, there was some, like, I think there was some faggots on it as well, like, and a load of meatballs and cut roast potatoes as well, and loads of carrot and veg. Oh, it's just ate the lot. Kind of felt a bit guilty about that because my poor dad can't have anything to eat. You know, he's getting fed through tubes and stuff like, and all we can do is just swab his lips, you know, to try and keep away, because he's having oxygen makes your throat and your mouth very dry. So we can just literally paste water onto his lips, and it's quite sad because he's trying to, you know, lap it up, so give him a bit extra, But because he's responded so well to the drugs, my dad has a water infection. He has a blood infection. That pretty much nails it there. He's got prostate cancer as well. But that was diagnosed a while ago. But because it was such a slow growing tumour, they said, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. This was a while ago. It will outlive him. Do you know what I mean? You know, he's going to have a nice, happy, long life before that causes any problem for him. Then he's had the pneumonia as well. But the drugs have all been doing their bit, and he's in no pain whatsoever. No pain, no gain. Kilt-Papa, come on now. And let's turn it down a bit. Bizarrely, I'm in a customer frame of mind today. You know, Kilt-Man always has these different phases that he goes through, and they repeat themselves again. So I have a 7th Cavalry officers, actually it's a 2nd Lieutenant's jacket, and I'm playing Son of the Morning Star, which is Custer's Last Stand. Fabulous TV miniseries. I did a video on it quite some time ago. But yeah, so I just wanted to keep people up to date with what's going on. The Endgame is still the same. It's just that he is stubborn enough and belligerent enough and mischievous enough to just drag this whole thing out. So he comes back to the home, which makes things a lot easier for all concerned because it's not that far away. In fact, for me, it's only down the road, so and we're all going to be there. I have to say to my mum before, you know, big Mama Kilt Mama, don't be there waiting for him. Let him get settled in, you know. But then again, every second counts, doesn't it? Time is really precious at the moment. And everyone on Facebook, by the way, who watches these, you know, you've been absolutely wonderful. Not had much sleep over the last few days. Nobody has, and pretty much exhausted. And you know, and my hand is still knackered. In fact, my hand is worse. I poured this before Glenfiddich, and obviously for my dad, well, and me. I couldn't get my hand around it, so I've got a really terrible feeling that it's not a trapped nerve. I think I've broken something in here, and the hand is now becoming a claw, the Kilted Claw. Hey, that could be a new nickname, the Kilted Claw. Watch out for the Kilted Claw. Look, see, the hand doesn't. I can't. Well, I can, but that takes effort. It doesn't naturally go very far, and to grip the certain angles you put your hand at, you can't do anything with. It's just useless. It's a floppy, stupid thing. Anyway, folks, that's pretty much it for now. That's the update. It's just that I want to say thanks to everyone, and I'll keep you aware of what's going on because, you know, Big Fred Mac. If you can make a drama out of something, oh, you will. You know, he's like Ken Dodd. Scouse comedian Ken Dodd, for people that don't know who he is, everyone in the UK knows who he is. He died only a couple of years ago, I think it was. And Doddy, as he was known, every show he did would run over. And not by like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but by hours. People couldn't get out. But he just kept on hitting them with joke after joke after joke. And it became this huge, part of his legacy that, once you were strapped in with Doddy, you weren't getting out alive, And and he was always in trouble with theatres because their staff were working overtime by hours, People were missing their coaches home, their trains home, because he wouldn't shut up. And it's like my dad, Big Fred Mac, is doing a Doddy on us right now. I'm sorry, again, I know it's a tragic circumstance, but, as I said the other day, you're either going to laugh or you're going to cry. And I did some crying yesterday. There was again a little moment where he stopped breathing. And I thought, oh, you're doing this again. And it really did stop. And I thought, don't go running out like you did the other day. You're not making a fool of me again. But he really stopped. And his mouth stretched wide open. And he arched back. And I thought, perfectly still. And I just looked at him. And there was a nurse in the door. I was about to just call it over. And then he snorted and started breathing again. And I just looked at him. And I don't know, at that moment it got me, That could have been the moment. I said it in tears, didn't I? I said that. Anyway, folks, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to see you all later, and thanks for your time.